Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, you're welcome. Guys, how are you doing? How is the summer going? For those in the UK, how did you guys cope with the heat wave? Being a new mom, having to deal with the baby, and also myself, I was extremely hot. But let's do this. Ooh, let's thank God now the weather is much better. It's a bit cold, like the weather is perfect now. I love it. So yeah guys, in today's video, I know that's why you guys are here. You're here for the tea. When my mom came around when my baby was newly born, I was looking for things to entertain her with because she wouldn't watch all these English movies. Fortunately, my husband found Justice Ashalu on YouTube for her, and we loved her. It's called Justice Scott on YouTube. You guys can check her out. She does amazing stuff, like help you get justice for anything you want in marriage, separation, somebody owing you money, your tenant would not want to come out of the house after like giving them eviction notice. Justice Shashalu will get you justice, like she will get you justice. Me and my mom, we were all, she watched the show every day, and it was something that we bonded over. Like she had a lot of opinions, I had my own opinion. A lot of times we tend to clash because probably I'm new school, she's old school, this kind of stuff. Like, oh no, we will not do it like this. But yeah, we enjoyed our show. So recently, I stumbled upon one of our videos on YouTube, and it was really interesting to watch. One of the very most confusing story I've ever listened to. It took me a time to like wrap my head around things that I was hearing, and it just shows you never judge the book by the cover. That should be like the summary of everything. I'm gonna tell you, like, give you a summary of the whole story, and I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on it. It's not like anybody asked, but yeah. If you want to know more, you can go on Justice Ashakalu's page and watch the video for yourself, like the full video for yourself. And if you have anything to say, come back here and give me your comment. So we have Esther, we have Chooks. I think it goes by Anthony, but maybe Chooks for short. And then we have Basirat. So Esther happens to be Chooks' girlfriend. She went first in presenting her case. So she's Chooks' girlfriend. She got pregnant for Chooks, and Chooks told her not to abort the baby, that she should keep the baby. And then they did a little bit of introduction, and she moved in with Chooks. She was falling ill during the pregnancy, so the parents wanted her to come back home so that they could take good care of her. So she went back home to her parents. Then she gave birth in her parents' house. And when she gave birth, after 2 months, she said she contacted Chooks, and Chooks would not like respond to her. She asked Chooks, should she come back home? And then Chooks was like, oh, she shouldn't come. She should stay with her parent. Yeah, she should stay with her parents. But then she didn't hear from Chooks. I think this happened 2017, like she said, and she hasn't heard from Chooks since then. And this is 2022. She said she contacted him. He contacted her 2020 to say he wanted to do something for the baby, but then she didn't hear from him again. So interesting, right? You're hearing the story, you're like, okay, where is Chook? Let's kill Chook. Let's kill Chooks. And I'm like, I'm in for it. Why would you do this to Esther? So now, here goes Chooks. Chooks is like, okay, yeah, Esther, what Esther said is true. They were dating, and then she got pregnant within 2 weeks of them dating. And he was like, okay, you don't have to abort the baby, keep the baby. And then he went to meet a parent, like Esther said. They moved in together, like Esther said earlier. But Chooks claimed that while Esther was pregnant and when she told him she was pregnant, someone named Ogere came to him and told him that the baby is not for Chooks, the baby belongs to him. And then Chooks said he was like, this cannot be possible. Okay, can you go say this in front of Esther? And they went to Esther, and Esther was crying and saying that Ogede was lying. Interesting. But then he was like, she should not worry about this. We're going to keep moving on. I believe you kind of scenario. And then they were together. They were living together while she was pregnant. Then Chooks said his sister took him to like a pastor to pray because things were not going well when Esther moved in with him, like he's still losing his job and all of that. And then the pastor told him that Esther is not a spec. The way they said it was like, oh, she's not my speechy. I'm like, okay. She's not a spec. I like what just Tasha said, like, okay, you didn't know she was not your spec when you were banging her in it. But yeah, let's leave that. The pastor said Esther is not a spec and he shouldn't have even been close to her. She's not someone he should have had sex with, or she's not someone he should have married, or like even be in any form of relationship with. But he should go keep taking care of the child. In 5 years' time, a big secret would explode, which is 2017, I guess, 2002, 2022. So this is a 5 years time when the secret is going to explode. Okay, then it went on like, okay, things were not going well for him. Anytime they tried to be intimate together, the baby always runs up. I know a baby moves, but yeah, the baby always runs up, and then she would fall sick, and then they would have to start spending money and all of that. So it kind of tinted like the baby was like a source of bad luck to him, in my own opinion. So anytime he tries to have sex with Esther, something bad always happen, and then she would be sick, and then they would have to start spending money. So that was him. And then Basira came with Chooks Anthony, right? And she asked the judge if she could like say something, which the judge allowed her to. So then she broke the old table. Basira broke the table into pieces. Okay, let's go. So Basira is like, she was Chick's girlfriend. He was cheating on her with Esther. So Esther was like a side chick, Basira the main chick. But Basira said she had like an instinct that he was cheating and confronted Chooks numerous times, which he would always tell her Esther was like a junior sister. Esther claimed not to know Basira was in the picture, but they were not of denial that they all knew each other, because I think they were like a group of friends, like friends with this, friends with that. So they know each other. Each other. Basira claimed that she has seen them few times together, maybe in an eatery, and confronted Chooks like, "What are you doing with this girl?" And Chooks will always say that, "No, she's my sister. Nothing more is going on." So then Esther got pregnant, and Chooks informed Basira that someone got pregnant for him. I don't think he told her it was Esther. And Basira said, okay, she then left the picture like, okay, she's no. She then left and yeah, just left them alone and let them be. So she came around to the area where Chooks and Esther lived, and then got to know that Chooks actually impregnated Esther, and that time Esther has given birth. Let me drink the tea. She confronted Chooks, and then Chooks was like, "Oh yeah, that's what happened. It's sorry, and all this kind of scenario." Well, going back to what Chooks said, things became really hard for him when him and Esther and the baby were in the picture. So he was sleeping outside. His sister chased him out from where he was. He lost over 7 jobs while in the midst of all of these. Things had just not been going well. Then Basira said she found him sleeping outside and she felt bad. She then called the dad that if the dad could send her money, she and her boyfriend wants to rent the house. In my head, I was going like, imagine me calling my dad like, "Daddy, me and my boyfriend, not even the one that cheated on me and had a baby for someone else, with someone else, we need money. We want to rent the house." I'm sure it's gonna like, just go. You're the son, like, probably going to like arrest her. I don't think she's in the right senses, but let's leave that. She rented the house with Chooks, but she wasn't really living there. She comes and she goes, in fairness to her. And then Chook's sister was always trying to come there to like chase her away, saying Chooks has a wife or he's impregnated somebody else. That one has to come stay there. And then she kept telling her that she got the house for Chooks. If Esther wants to be in the picture, wants to marry Chooks, she also needs to do something like provide for the guy, finance the guy. Let me stop laughing because this is not funny. That she has to do something. She has to finance the guy. She has to bring something to the table. So she said the sister came the first time. She explained to the sister that no, this house belongs to me and Chick, because the money that was used to rent this house was from my dad. And then she came again the second time, but by this time she was already pregnant, 2 months pregnant for Chooks. She said The way she said it, like she needed to get pregnant so that her parents could be able to help Chooks the way she wanted. So she was already 2 months gone. Now, Basira, I think the judge had to stop her, like, okay, you're giving too much information. That's not why we're here. So to cut the whole story short, she is the one funding Chooks. She's the one funding Chooks to like support Esther and the baby. When the baby clocked 1, it was her who sent money to who gave Chooks the money to like buy cake for the baby, whatever it has to do with the baby. She is the one taking responsibility for the baby. So now I'm gonna pause so you guys can like hear these things for yourself. Like, I'm not lying. These things actually happened, okay?
I faced him and I told him that you told me she's junior sister. I am not leaving you for her. That was what I told you. And then already, I was already pregnant. I didn't tell him. So when this senior sister came back again, my pregnancy was 2 months. She wanted to throw me out of the house that I rented myself. And I told her that I am pregnant. She has her own baby. If she knows she wants to get married, if she knows she wants to get married to him, she should also support him the way I am supporting him.
After everything read well and said, when they all presented their case in front of the judge, because it wasn't like a relationship issue that brought them there. Just this a child who she couldn't like really give them advice based on relationship. She just had to go straight to the point. I think they came there for to ascertain the paternity of the child. So she was like, okay, we're gonna read the paternity test, and if the guy is the one responsible for this child, he has to take care of the child, right? Because that's what the law says. And I'm quite impressed that Nigerian law actually like hold men responsible, because when I was in Nigeria, I never knew like you can actually take the man to the court or you can do anything. What I've grown up with is the man says he's not interested again. It chases you out. You go with what you came into the house with. That's what I grew up to know. Like when I was in Nigeria, I didn't know that you can actually take these men to court and have them to be responsible. Then she read the paternity test. To everyone's surprise, likewise myself, the baby wasn't Chook's baby. You're gonna listen for yourself, and then you're gonna hear with your 2 ears. Chooks is not the owner of the child.
Of DNA test conducted for Christian Chukwudi Anthony and the minor child, Chika Prince Anthony, has been perfectly analyzed as concisely summarized below. We have the case number, the child male, that's Chika Prince Anthony, alleged father, Christian Chukwudi Anthony, and the DNA analysis negative.
I'm like, kill me now. So yeah, Esther seems confused because it should have been Chuck's baby. With the kind of reaction, I would have said, okay, maybe since Ogede was a big part of this story, because Ogede was mentioned like a few times, claiming that he owns the baby. I felt like he should have been there to have his paternity test also done across its own DNA across the baby to ascertain that if he is the father of the child, not just allegedly, I own the child. So Esther goes, oh yeah, I get this virgin me a long time ago, but then he traveled, and that was after that I started dating Chooks. I know it's quite questionable when she said after 2 weeks that they were dating, she was already pregnant. Yeah, well, I never know. Things works in mysterious ways, so it could be. And also, maybe they could have done maternity test to ascertain that the baby actually is Esther's baby in the first place. So yeah, that's that and that. So now I'm gonna give my 2 cents on the whole story. Like, if I could sit with Esther, what would I say to her? If I could speak to Chooks, what would I say to him? And if I could speak to Basira, what would I say to Basira? I think I'm going to go with Esther. Say she should apologize to her mom because her mom came there. Her mom was also invited to like say something, and she was literally just disgraced to know that our child was actually lying about the Because what if the baby is actually not Esther's baby and there was mixed up? Who knows? But like just having the mom to be there because she was also on the stage when the results was read, I felt like that was really disgusting to have her go through that. So I would say to Esther, just apologize to your mom. I'm sure she will understand because the mom has been the one taking care of the baby since the baby was born. And also, I would say she should move on from the situation and just let it go. You've made your mistake, you've learned from it. The most important thing is for it not to happen again, and also that should not define you. I felt really bad for her. I felt like my heart shrunk because I could imagine having to to go through like a paternity dispute and being told on national TV you actually cheated on the boy that was cheating. It's all messed up, right? Like she was cheating, or the baby, she made another man believe that the baby was his when it was not his, kind of stuff. I felt really bad for her. But yeah, those things happens and she should just snap out of it and do better in relationship. Now, to Basira. Initially, I felt like I would have a lot of things to say to Basira, but then when I sat down and I thought about it, I'm like, Basira is happy. So what can you say to someone that's happy with the situation? She's happy to be in a polygamous sort of relationship. She knew Chooks was cheating on her, but she was fine with it. So what can you say? Can you say, oh, sis, move, he's cheating? Nah. She's happy with it. She was happy to even help him. So I think that Basira is a really good person. Like she's a sweet person. You know, all these kind of people that they are genuinely kind. Not just to maybe their boyfriend, but like anyone they love, anyone around them will know that they're kind, like they're kind people naturally. That's who they are. And I think that's the kind of person she is. And my prayer is I hope Chooks is not taking advantage of the fact that she's a really, really sweet individual. Because when the judge was saying, oh, if Chooks is the father of this child, he has to take responsibility. She was like, oh yeah, he must take responsibility. The judge was like, okay, you know you also have to be a good stepmom to this child. She's like, yeah, I'm more than happy to be a mom to the child. Like you can see that she's a very, very nice person. She said in her words like, oh, Chooks made a mistake and his mistake is a mistake. And I'm like, that's so cute, sis. That's so cute. Preach! Like, I was like, you need to learn with him. But yeah, I thought that's like really, I like the fact that she's quite understanding. And but when I think about it again, I'm like, are you sure Chooks is not taking advantage of this girl? What if he becomes really like once he start having money, what's he gonna do? Because from track record, when he had money, when things was going well for him, was when he was dating Basira and he was dating Esther. Can you imagine? So yeah, that's Basira. Initially, I wanted to say like a lot of things for her to her, but I felt like she's happy and that's all that matters. Yeah, and I wish her all the best in a relationship with Chooks. But now to Mr. Chooks, the the one that is shaking the table, the one that is making these women do giddy giddy giddy, the man of the hour. Yeah, I'll say to Chooks, like if I was sitting across the table from Chooks, this is what I'm gonna say. You need to be more responsible. You need to take responsibility for your actions and stop blaming people because that's what I feel like he was doing. Saying since the baby came, things became hard for him and all of that. A child is supposed to be a blessing. We all know that. In whatever shape or form they come, they are a blessing to our life. Whether you're the father, whether you're not the father, a child brings blessing to a home. So I don't think a child is the cause of your downfall. Everything could just be a mere coincidence. So stop like making excuses for yourself, saying, "Oh, you lost 7 jobs because when the child was born, so you had to run away from the child." No, you just need to do better. And also, if you are going to be cheating or dating 7 women or whatever women you wanted to be dating, because we only knew of 2, who knows if there were more? Knows, right? Use condom. Use condom. I'm sure condom is cheaper than paternity test. Use condom and do better for Basira because she deserves a really good man. I hope that you do not break this lady's heart. Like you do not mess things up when things start becoming good for you. Like, try and be responsible. Take responsibility for your actions. And now, I think that's it. And also, Esther, please allow the child to know the father. Let this man start taking responsibility for his child. Let there be relationship for if he's all get there, let all get there be in the life of the child. Yeah, I know the story is quite like it took me time to wrap my head around this. But yeah, that's it. That was the story. This is the world we live in now. Men taking advantage of women, get them pregnant, and just disappear. Because it sucks when it has to do with somebody running away. A woman cannot run away. She's always stuck with the child, right? But the man can just do whatever they want to do and just keep you moving, right? And that's not fair. So yeah, I think that's the end of the story, and I gave my 2 cents. If you guys do not agree with what I said, let me know. What would you have done if you were Basira? Would you support a man who has actually cheated on you before and has a child, like that allegedly had a child, which is a living evidence of him cheating on you? Would you support him financially? Would you would you get your parents involved to rent a house for this man? And if you were Esther, what would you have done? Maybe because she didn't know, maybe because she knew in her heart that Chooks actually is not the father of the child. That's why she did not even really press hard to look for him to take responsibility, because she said she lost touch with him. If you were Esther, what would you do? Would you look for this man and track him down to take responsibility for his child? Well, at the end of the day, it turned out that the child was not his, right? And also, what would you say to Chooks? I just feel like it's really sad that he got these 2 women in a really stupid situation, especially Basira. But everything now is cleared. Like the pastor said, the big secret was going to come out after 5 years, which it did. 2017 to 2022, 5 years. Secret came out. The baby is not his. Voila. But yeah, I think that's the end of the story. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want me doing more storytelling videos like this? Did I try? What do you think? Hope you guys are doing well. Chat me up in the comment section. I would be replying to every single one of you. What do you guys have to say? Yeah. Till next time, guys. Have a good day.